Well guys, September is basically here, so you know what that means. We finally get some pumpkin spice lattes and pumpkin beer, and we've got some updates on Halloween Kills. Over the past few weeks, the Fantasia Film Festival has been happening, and while usually it's an in-person event where filmmakers and critics can all meet up, go check out some movies, and maybe get their films sold to distributors so we can eventually see them on streaming services like Shudder, this year they had to move it online because of COVID, which absolutely sucks, and I feel like that would be a really challenging thing to hold online, a film festival, because, you know, Piracy is a huge problem. But one of the big upsides to this event being online is that they were able to not only give John Carpenter a Lifetime Achievement Award, which is pretty damn cool, but also he did a masterclass that was about an hour long and he answered a ton of questions that were submitted by fans. Everyone, of course, has Halloween Kills on the mind because John Carpenter is the guy who started it all, and also we're getting into the Halloween season and the movie was delayed. But thankfully, they didn't block off all of the questions about Halloween Kills. They asked one question, and we actually did get a cool answer though this time.
It is the quintessential slasher film. It is so intense, and oh my god, it even stuns me how incredible it is. David just did a great job, so can't wait to have you see it.
There's a few reasons that statement is noteworthy to me, but the biggest one is that John Carpenter is an extremely honest dude who is absolutely known for not holding back in any way. It was probably over a year ago at this point, I don't know, the days are all starting to blend together, but there was talk of a remake of Big Trouble in Little China, like a remake / sequel starring The Rock, and someone went and they tracked down John Carpenter and they were like, hey, doesn't it bug you that the studios are basically just picking and choosing any movie they can from your filmography and remaking them without you involved? And he gave the extremely candid response of, no, it doesn't bother me at all. I make money for not really doing anything in this scenario, and that's totally fine because he already made those movies. So with that being said, we can just kind of take at face value that he's an extremely honest person when it comes to movies. So hearing him say something extremely positive, not only about Halloween Kills, but also David Gordon Green as the director, is awesome. He's basically the one person you can trust with this shit, because when movies come out, everyone involved has a lot of stake in them, you know? Actors, their careers can kind of hinge on a movie doing good or bad, so they're going to make you try and go out and see it. And then also the directors and the writers and everyone else, their careers are all heavily invested in these movies. But John Carpenter, he doesn't really care one way or the other. He's retired, he wants to watch basketball and play video games, so he's just taking the back seat, putting his name on as an executive producer and calling it a day. So again, hearing him say something positive about Halloween is awesome, because calling it the quintessential slasher from the guy who put the slasher genre on the map, yes, that's a bold claim, but I will stand behind it, and I will argue with anyone who tries to say otherwise. That's just so cool to me. I'm somehow more excited for Halloween Kills than I already was, and it totally sucks that we have to wait another year to see it. And guys, I can't lie to you, after watching DC Fandom all last weekend and seeing a trailer for The Batman, which comes out 2 weeks before Halloween Kills and is also only 25% shot, I'm kind of upset that we haven't seen anything from this movie. I know we just got a teaser for it, but it showed us literally nothing that we haven't already seen, and also the other teaser we got last year was mostly behind the scenes footage that was just trying to get ahead of leaks actually ruining the movie. So yeah, it really does bother me that this movie is completely done. It's just sitting on a shelf and we have barely seen anything from it. And it does kind of make me nervous that there's only 2 weeks between the Batman's release and Halloween Kills. By that time, people are going to be pretty excited to be back in the movie theater, and they're going to want to see a Batman movie. And unlike other superheroes, this Batman movie looks really dark. So only 2 weeks between that and Halloween Kills. It just kind of makes me nervous because unlike most movies, superhero movies are ones that people go to the theater 2, 3, 4 times to rewatch while they're still running. That's pretty much why they make so much money. So I'm really crossing my fingers here that the profit from the Batman doesn't really eat into Halloween Kills opening weekend. Because if you remember, that release date Halloween Kills has now was initially Halloween Ends release date. And if the third movie in a trilogy that's literally called Halloween Ends doesn't make as much money as something like Halloween Kills or Halloween 2018, I think that's fine, because presumably from that point, they're either going to reboot the franchise anyway or come up with a new idea to keep Michael Myers going forward. But having the middle movie right so close to a superhero movie, it makes me a little bit nervous, you know? I don't think for a second that Halloween Kills is going to be a box office flop by any means, but if it does make a lot less than Halloween 2018, that gives Universal a reason to come in and do studio meddling that basically ruins any movie that happens to, and also they could reduce the budget for Halloween Ends, which is something that I don't think any of us want. So I feel like the silver lining here that we have to look forward to is that hopefully Halloween Ends is able to start filming before Halloween Kills is even released. You never know with this COVID crap, cases are going up, people are still stuck inside, but I have a good feeling that they'll start shooting Halloween Ends either early next year or towards the summer next year. So hopefully that doesn't become a factor at all, that the release dates are so close between Halloween Kills and the Batman. I've also seen a ton of rumors from people saying that there's definitely going to be a trailer on Halloween, but I will tell you right now, I looked into it, I did a lot of research, and there is nothing that tells me we're going to see a trailer other than the fact that they could release one and make people really happy. It's kind of annoying that people are guessing we're going to get a trailer on Halloween based on the fact we got one last year, because it's an easy guess to make, and if they're wrong, they can just say COVID got in the way, they had to move the release date of the trailer to sometime next year, and if they're right, they can say, look at me, I predicted this, and then they're hoping, I'm assuming, they'll get more subscribers out of that. It's really frustrating. There's tons of rumors that come out of nowhere for Halloween Kills because everyone wants to have a scoop or whatever. I do my research. I might not have the flashiest updates for you guys all the time, but I promise you, if you hear something on this channel, it's factual and you can believe it. But if Blumhouse and Universal are planning on releasing a trailer this year, I really hope they're smart enough to hype it up. I know with all the other Halloween marketing, they usually just dump it on people. They don't give any warning whatsoever, but now's the opportunity to really build some goodwill from the fans that you definitely lost for delaying it and not putting it on VOD, and also just get people excited for Halloween. I don't know how else to say it. This year straight up sucks. Halloween Horror Nights is canceled. All of the local haunts people usually go to probably aren't happening. Like hell, a lot of people can't even have Halloween parties because you're not supposed to be close to people, and that's terrible. I hate that. I usually go to Salem every year for Halloween, and it sucks that I can't do that. So Universal and Blumhouse have a real opportunity here to build up to Halloween, saying, look, we get that you guys are upset we delayed the movie. We're upset too. So we're going to show you a little bit more footage than we initially intended. Here's a very short teaser at the beginning of October, and then they can drop the full trailer on Halloween night. I feel like they just can't lose at that point, especially going back to the Batman, considering that movie only 25% shot and we've gotten a full trailer for it. I know it's bumming some of you out that there have been less videos lately, and obviously that's because there has been literally no Halloween news. It really is bumming me out too, because we were in a nice swing of things where I can make even a couple videos a week, but now there's just nothing to talk about. There's also been a heat wave here in Los Angeles, and I don't have air conditioning, so I couldn't film, but I've been using that time to, of course, work on my Halloween ranking, which you guys have been asking for a really long time. That's going to be a really cool video I dropped closer to October. I've also linked a series called One Good Scare in the card, and it's also at the end of the video. If you haven't seen it before, you should definitely check it out. It's a retrospective series where I look back on some of my favorite movies, starting with the Halloween franchise, and those are kind of the videos that I really enjoy making, and even though they don't get as many views as these videos, they're a lot more fun in my opinion, and overall they're just better videos. So if you've never seen them before, take a chance, because I'm going to be bringing those back big time this year with a revisit on Halloween 4, and then we'll see where I go from there. I've got some pretty cool stuff planned. So since we're just starting to get into the Halloween season, make sure you're subscribed if you aren't already, and also click the notification bell even if you've been subscribed for a while, and make sure your notifications are set to all. YouTube's algorithm for some reason does not show videos to people just because they subscribe to you. I don't know why, that's just how it works, but if you hit that notification bell and set it to all, every time I upload a video, you will know about it immediately. Anyway guys, that's it for this week's Halloween video. As always, my name is Jimmy Champane, and I'll see you in the next one. Shape on.